a lot of us actually rely so much on Facebook information. Do you know that somebody can sit down and just put out something on Facebook that literally has no authenticity, no authentication at all? It happens. And now you have content creators wanting to grasp for views, clickbait, and all of that. So they do a lot of things to get all of that. So how do you make sure that you're not a victim of propaganda or fake information? Because this is the political season, and trust me, every weaponry will be utilized. It's going to be brutal. It's brutal, actually. Politics is brutal. So a lot of you who are sensitive, you don't even know the emotional roller coaster you're going to get yourselves into. So you better fortify yourself, be prepared, because more will happen to your favorite person, to the person you anticipate to vote for in 2027. So when you see a lot of this conversation on the media and on social media, get yourself prepared to not either you sensitize yourself and desensitize yourself to certain narratives. It's very, very imperative. However, we'll be looking at quite a couple of issues that affects us in this part of the world. The NIDCOM, being headed by Abike Dabirewa, recently expressed sorrow over the killing of 2 Nigerians in separate violent attacks in the United Kingdom and Canada at the start of the year. And you know that the message was delivered through the Commission's Director of Media, Public Relations and Protocol, Abdul Rahman Balogun. Dabirewa sent condolences to the families and loved ones of the victims. She described the period as a very hard time for them. However, she complimented the quick action taken by the UK Metropolitan Police and the Toronto Police Service following the incident. She also appealed for full and open investigation so that those responsible can be brought to justice. It's an unfortunate thing to be experiencing at this point in time. You have almost entered the new year. You're not in Nigeria where you say Nigeria happened to you. You're in the UK and you're going about your business, and this kind of unfortunate situation happened. Meanwhile, back home in Nigeria, Nigerian soldiers who are fighting Boko Haram on ground in Northeast are accusing their commander of withholding operation allowance. This is an exclusive. Some Nigerian soldiers who were deployed to fight Boko Haram insurgents in the Northeast under Operation Hardin Kai, they recently accused their commander of withholding their operation allowances. Now, some of the affected soldiers disclosed this during an exclusive interview with Sahara reporters early on today. They alleged that thousands of troops have been affected and left stranded in the bush. The soldiers said their morale has dropped sharply as they continue to confront terrorists without receiving the allowance meant to sustain them during operations. According to them, they are currently in the bush fighting terrorists, adding that the operation allowance is supposed to ensure they live comfortably while fighting, that is for their food. They noted that even though the money is small, it is still going a long way. They alleged that their commander is now withholding it. Operation Hardin Kai covers part of the Northeast, including Sector 1 Maiduguri, Borno State, Sector 2 Damaturu, Yobe State, Sector 3 Maiduguri, Borno State, and Sector 4 Yola, Adamawa State. The soldiers said their other states in the Northeast geopolitical zone are not part of Operation Hardin Kai. They explained that the operation allowance is paid monthly, stating that the payment is made every first of the month, but alleged that FCMB refused to pay thousands of troops using their bank operation allowance. Now, the soldiers further stated that the allowances applies to several security agencies involved in Operation Hardin Kai, including soldiers, mobile police officers, and personnel of the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps. They said the allowance is calculated at 1,500 naira per day, amounting to 46,500 naira in a month, but complained that payments have become irregular. The troops identified the officer in charge as a theater commander, saying, "We called him TC, Theater Commander Major General Abubakar." The soldiers appealed for urgent intervention, warning that continued non-payment of their allowances could further weaken morale among troops, risking their lives daily in counter-insurgency operations in the Northeast. These are the things that make these soldiers to start giving intelligence reports to terrorists, because they're giving more money. And it's quite unfortunate if this is a situation, because we already know these guys are risking their lives. This is not the first time we're hearing this. Their monies are meant to be paid to their accounts directly, but we heard that lately when the president came and increased their allowance, that their commanders collect the money. So the money goes to the commander's account, and then the commander now gives them the money. Normally they usually receive the money directly. Why is that system so? And now they're not getting their monies as frequently as possible, that their commanders are withholding the money. And now that these soldiers have complained, God knows what happens. They could face some disciplinary measure. These are the things that causes the porosity within the military, especially the ground troops, where sometimes they sell out their colleagues, and in some instances provide targets strategic information to these terrorists, because these things happen all the time. Most times that these terrorists know the whereabouts of these guys, the information is provided by either the community members or within the Nigerian military themselves. The soldiers on ground are the ones who give out this sensitive information. This is a very risky period now that the terrorists are actually on rampage, and with what Trump ordered, the Nigerian military is not meant to allow this kind of situation happen at all, especially from their own angle, from their own front. Now, a whistleblower whose name is John Pohe has accused the former Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice, Abubakar Malami, alongside senior officials of the Federal Ministry of Justice and a private businessman, of diverting $1 billion belonging to the federal government of Nigeria through a cloned bank account linked to the Nigerian Ports Authority. Those named in the petition include Alhaja Ladidi B. Mohammed, a senior official in the Asset Recovery Unit of the Federal Ministry of Justice, Barrister Buni, identified as a confidential secretary, and Hal Hassan Dentata, Chairman CEO of Crescent House Limited. According to documents which were recently obtained by Sahara, the funds were allegedly launched in a cloned account bearing supposed account number said to be an NPA account maintained with Unity Bank. They were allegedly used to defraud the federal government of Nigeria, and this was a recent development which was disclosed by a whistleblower whose name is Pohe. He allegedly uncovered the suspicious accounts and its contents, approached Malami directly while he was Attorney General of the Federation to disclose what he described as vital information about the cloned account and the huge funds it contained. So the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission said from his lawyers disclosed that they have been briefed and they're satisfied with the information presented. Malami directed the head of the Asset Recovery Unit in the Ministry of Justice, Alhaja Ladidi Bu Mohammed, to take steps in recovering the funds. Now, following the directive, Pohe wrote a formal information letter dated June 11, 2018, detailing the alleged loot. Also, the letter was submitted to this Alhaja Ladidi for necessary action in line with Malami's alleged instruction, and an agreement dated June 22, 2018 was subsequently signed on Pohe's behalf by his lawyer, Barrister Mama, while the then Attorney General of the Federation represented the Federal Ministry of Justice. Again, these are part of what they're uncovering since Malami has been called in for questioning, and more is expected to be divulged in this process. He has met his bail condition, and others have actually gone to meet him to commiserate with him, but the EFCC is not leaving the chain on the neck of Malami and his family. Now we know what is going on in the political sphere. The All Progressives Congress and Wike, there are issues, and there are talks that if Wike is not put to order, it will destabilize the All Progressives Congress. Now, according to what we heard recently of Wike's report, Wike is disclosing to us that as it stands, he is not meant to be put aside. He cannot be used and dumped. We're going to be looking at the cases involved in Rivers State. But first of all, I want us to take a very close listen to something like this. This particular person gave us a detailed breakdown of what the core issue is right now in Rivers State. We want to understand precisely why this is so and what this portends for the people of Rivers, because a lot of Nigerians are wondering why Wike seems to be this adamant that things need to be done the way he expects it to be done. Others believe that maybe Wike is becoming too proud and bloated, but that at the end of the day, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is the one who is going to win in all of this. I want us to take a listen to this man. He calls himself an underdog. He also says he's a human rights activist. He calls himself a warlord. So maybe we can understand the context where this is coming from and how the federal government needs to intervene in this, because this is actually quite suspicious. And I must tell you that it's a dangerous narrative for Nigerians to allow. The exposure by these individuals in government on the illicit activities when it comes to taxpayers' monies is worrisome. So let's take a listen to this. He did a live where he was speaking with someone recently saying that Fubara does not like giving out money, and that has always been his problem. Let's listen to this.
So what is the bigger problem now? See, last 2004, the budget, say governor no gree bring tender and we no gree tender the this thing. 2005, we no gree, now 2006. And say, this government are 3 arms of government. And say the one chop alone, saying they chop alone. So the person can ask me one question. And the person, my younger brother, very popular, honorable member, I say, come ask me one question. Asabuja, all this fight where they fight for sin for governor. They don't call you one day, make you clean this gutter, just see this, that thing. One this thing give you, they say, killing the gutter, they pay you so million. You and your boys, make on a clean this thing. They don't call you, say, see this revenue. Asabuja, see and do it, you and your boys. So I think I'm not saying if you're not wicked, say wicked go don't do them. I tell her yes. Yes. And you, Alaji, you know say that true.
Not true, stick it true, you know that one. Sing this thing, and you don't know what you did.
So the thing, now the man, the honorable member, the leader called me. I don't call them popular honorable member, where they with Wike.
Yeah.
Now my brother, now my friend. Now my younger brother. So he tell me, all this fight from last year where they declare me wanted, this one, that one, I enter Equity local government, I do this, I go do this. Say what I see, don't call me, say, General, see these 2 healers. What I ADC while they talk, Chief of Staff, we don't call me, say, General, see this building, see these healers, see this contract, see this revenue. What any of them don't do them? Say, wait till make I risk my life for them. What I see, don't call me one day, say, see 50 million, see 30 million. I don't, you know, so I don't go fit lie. I tell them what I want, say no. I never see even 20 million. Before God and man, I don't go come the lie. I don't wear my red. Now they life. I want to make masses hear them. I be activist. I be freedom fighter. I be woman rights activist. I be warlord. Yes. So I did life. Now it's me and you they talk for full self. I did life now.
Okay.
I don't enter life. So the man begin to explain 3 arms of government. So only see just they do the thing they go. The budget of 2004, the budget of 25, now 26. Say that waiting the verse all of them. Say the budget. This one only does they do carry things on his own. Money no go good. Say at least every year, say supposed to come say Martin and maybe you and your people. Say assembly, see this one. Justice, see this one. Bartholomew, see this one. State security, see this one. You understand? Say that 3 arms of government. Say supposed to see this, but say no way. Say that within the first assembly. Say that I make the assembly now. Assembly people with the assembly. Now I make this procedure of impeachment they take place. Say see no know how to push money out. I tell them say really now they cry why the crisis last year. Now waiting at the crisis last year and now waiting at the crisis since this year. Now I don't start 2003 they cry this thing till now. Say now waiting at the cry. He say no. So they put my life, they take risky for see for brother. That one they when they talk. He said just make him give it to clean up your gutter or fag a gutter to carry dustbin. Say money they there. What I do them, what I don't do them, I say no. But say I dey risk my life for them. Say when I not gonna say what I'm this stingy or you know this stingy. Now the bad side of me where people want hear, they don't want hear the good side. Somebody will love you, no go hear bad side. He must hear the 2. If somebody like you, he no go take one side, he go take the 2. Huh? Yes.
Confront them directly.
Confront them, they hear me. People know they tell them.
Don't worry. When you come, let's confront you.
Alaji, the thing they confuse me. You are my brother, you are my friend. You are my blood.
We are going to allow, we are going to confront you.
That's why they tell everybody, Alaji, they tell everybody, say, you see, Muslim and Christian, we be one. I don't know what you will drag. I don't know what you will fight.
No.
As I dey here now, I don't go more. I don't go more than 4 times. I don't go make a more than 4 times.
Yes.
I don't go sound the join pray. Waiting I know now one God.
Yes.
Now I when bandits they do all those things. I say good Muslim no go follow do this thing. Good Muslim no they join all this thing. Now the bad one. Even the Christian get bad one. So Alaji, I say talk, no problem. No problem when they come back.
Come right now, come and meet you.
Alright, no problem.
You tell him that what you see. Let's go and meet you one-on-one.
Okay, no problem. Alright.
Let's go and meet you one-on-one.
Okay.
No,
I know the verse. But you know good. Okay, brother. You know good say you they put effort for somebody and the person they see the effort. You know good say they defend person, the person they see the thing. You know good say you they fight for person in the see. It's wrong.
Exactly.
That's the thing.
Let's meet him one-on-one and tell you where he's making a mistake.
Okay, no problem, Alaji.
Consider that we can pick up that day.
That's all. No be tomorrow they say I don't change. No be tomorrow they say I don't go here. Say tomorrow this person don't buy me. Now make I talk Alaji. Thank you. So for my life, no be tomorrow they say I accuse person. Asabuja don't change. Asabuja don't do this.
Yeah, that's the name I was trying to get, as Sabuja or something like that. So at the end of the day, anyways, this whole thing is about money, the 600 billion naira in River State coffers, appointments that Wike had actually asked Fubara to supposedly do on his behalf. But there are talks that most of the appointments and the designates are all Wike's people. So that what does Wike want? Now the conversation again is now to the state governors, that most of the state governors have decided to remain idle. All the monies that have been given to the state governors, pumping money to them, what are they doing? Most roads are dilapidated, social welfare services are not provided, some of the state hospitals are nothing to write home about, services in the state hospitals not provided. You go to some state hospitals or even some clinics in some local government or wards, you'll be seeing only 1 nurse or 2 nurses. Sometimes the doctors there are working in a private hospital. It is only when a serious case is called for that they come around. In some instances, you see patients lining up in the hospital in such a state of disarray, nobody pays attention. If you do not have the money, you may literally get to the hospital and pass on from there. In fact, basic amenities needed. Electricity is not to be provided. You will have to provide electricity when you get there, especially if your family member needs to go through surgery. Things like cotton wool, plaster, drip, you may have to use your money to buy some of these things. So the question is, what are the state governors doing with these monies allocated to them? While they're all decamping to the All Progressives Congress to have connection to the center, where is their responsibility in governing? Only few states that the governors are supposedly actively working. What is going on with the rest? Excuse me, please. I'd like to cough out. Yeah, thank you. This is still the evening rush right here on Voice of the People 90.3 FM. I'm having coughs, so pardon me intermittently if I take some breaks. Now, let me introduce my guest in the studio. He has come here before, and I invited him to come because we need that education. My guest in the studio this evening is Don Dotun Ojourn. Good evening. Welcome.
Good evening. It's good to be here again.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you.
I literally had to drag you and beg you. Hey, God, oh, Don, you will not kill me.
I will do better next time.
Thank you very much. Thank you. You're so humble. Thank you so much for being here with us today. Don, you've heard all my intro.
Yeah.
Let's start off with security, and then we'll go to state governments. The soldiers are saying that they've not been given their allowance, and this destabilizes and reduces morale to work. Those guys go to the field and they don't even know if they'll be alive the following day. We see the situations they find themselves in most instances, and this leads to them leaking secrets, strategic secrets to these terrorists because of the money. Now, initially, I heard during Buhari's time that they pay the monies directly to their account. I think then they were paying them 40-something thousand naira, that is as their allowance or so. But the president, when he came, that's Tinubu, he increased their allowance. I don't know if they have started implementing that increment now, but in this dispensation, the commanders of some of these sectors, the money is sent to their account. They're the ones that now disburse the money to those within their different sectors that they're in charge of. And my question is, why? I mean, if the money is coming straight from the government into their account, we will not be having issues like this. But now their monies are being held, and no explanation is being given as to why their monies are being held. And these guys are on the field. And at the end of the day, they would say it's the president who is not doing positively by them. This is obviously one of the issues that we hear causes the porosity in intelligence sharing within the ground troops. What's your take on this? Let's start with this first.
Okay, so I actually do not have info on what the current situation is, and but one thing I do know is that corruption has become one of our biggest problems, and I just hope that everyone involved will perhaps just think about the implication. I have always said it, that the problem we have is not with the gun-carrying members of the military. It's always been with the money-carrying members of the military, those who have access to budget here and there. So I will also personally also speak with people in government and have them investigate whether truly they've reverted to paying to their GOC, or whether they pay directly to those people that are fighting.
Yeah.
I'm going to speak with people in government, and I promise perhaps that something is going to happen.
Okay, but this is not the first time we've had this report anyway. There were some changes that they experienced when the president came on board. Now, the changes, in as much as they say it's for set, they have their reasons for doing that. But the thing is, why wouldn't their allocation get to them as quick as possible? I mean, this is a very, very dangerous period for anything to be done against those guys that could incinerate their morale. They cannot have such a feeling at this point in time at the war front. And even if the money is small, they say it goes a long way. I mean, if you look at it, the allowance is 1,500 naira in a day. In a month, it's about 40-something thousand. So they say they know the money is small, but it is something.
Yeah,
I mean, when you calculate it for the entire month, that is allowance aside from their salary. So why should anyone waste any time whatsoever in getting it done? And this is a Yuletide season. They shouldn't even derail. They also complained about the fact that the timing of paying this allowance is inconsistent. They don't pay it early enough as when they're supposed to. So could we say it's the leadership before? We have a new Minister of Defense now.
Okay, so I think structurally we are operating from a system that the world has moved past.
All right.
If you look at our system, our security system, you see that virtually everywhere you get to in Nigeria, I think I cited the example here the other day. If we are supposed to measure the salary that people earn here now, for example, you discover that the least paid person will be the security. Usually it's a bad template that we've continued to follow. And when you have a situation like this, that means you are not giving them an opportunity to die for their country. Because what's the reason for dying in the first place? I told you the last time I came of a situation where somebody died, and this in the Nigeria police, and the wife was trying to get his compulsory payment, and a member of the ministry was also trying to have carnal knowledge of the woman that is trying to get the husband pension or gratuity or what have you. So I think it's a faulty system, and we'll continue to speak to people in power to ensure that, because if you do economic reforms, that can actually be rubbished by insecurity. There's nothing that you can do that cannot be rubbished by insecurity. So that tells you how important security is. You can't talk about direct investment, foreign direct investment, if those that are going to invest don't have a perception that your community is secured. And one of the things that you can do is to actually give these people an opportunity to die for their country, defend their country. And you cannot continue to tell them to do all of this if you are not taking care of their welfare. So when you talk about the welfare of people as security operatives, it's something that I think the government should continue to work on.
All right, thank you, Don. Quite aptly put, like you said, you're going to also make your own investigations to find out. But this is not the first time we've been hearing about their complaints. So let's look at the state government here. Since last year, it's all about being politics. Most of the governors who were once PDP governors defected to the APC. Meanwhile, the very responsibility of administration and what they're supposed to use, the allocations given to them from the federal government, that's FAC allocation, they're lagging behind. They're seriously lagging behind. I mean, somebody said that if you leave Lagos, possibly just Lagos, and to other states, you would still think that we're still in a certain primitive era, aside from maybe cities like Abuja, obviously, and other states that really focus on urbanization. Very few of the states, actually. But you'll be surprised with how much the FAC allocation is being pumped to the state governors, that we're not seeing developments. Social services are lacking. Medical facilities unavailable. Very few general hospitals are active, and even in these general hospitals, when you go there, you see the number of patients they have, limited nurses and doctors, and in some instances, if you do not have connection, if you do not have money, that when you come in and you see the queue, you put a call through, you come in immediately. Others are left. There's this carelessness experienced. So what is it? What is going on with the state governors? They have a responsibility. Then, aside from that, we have senators and House of Rep members. The idea is that beyond the state government, the local government with the senators, their constituencies, they are meant to monitor development in that constituency, meaning that if the state government, based on the monies given to them, and there are infrastructural developments that is earmarked based on the monies given to them, and the constituencies tagged to be beneficiaries of those projects they're not seeing it. This constituency House of Rep members, they're the ones that are meant to alert the state governor that, CEO, this is part of the proposition. This is what you said you're going to. My constituent is part of this project. You haven't done anything. We're not seeing them do anything. All of them are all about the money. You can see what's going on in Rivers. We're hearing basic, brazen confession of how monies are used. State allocations are used for personal purposes. What is happening? How does this work?
So where do we start from now? Because
start from all of them. Start from all of them.
Okay, so
how the monies get to the governors, how the governors share these funds, because we need to let people know how these funds are shared, how supposed proposals are written. That we now see proposals are written to the governors. They look at it, and some of them, they agree to these proposals. Now they give the contracts to certain persons who obviously are either persons in the Senate, they are close allies and all of that. Then we don't know if they monitor these contractors to carry out this responsibility and how these monies are shared, whereby they are bereft in taking care of the projects for the state and the well-being of their people.
Okay, so as difficult as anybody can think that Nigerians are, I want to believe that Nigerians are actually the best set of people to govern, because Nigerians are not interested in the process.
Okay.
In fact, they do not even care about who the contractor is. At the end of the day, They just want to drive on a good road. So if you like, give the project to your sister. They are not interested. They just want good road. They want this. So if you look at it from this angle, you will agree with me that Nigerians are actually very easy people to govern. But again, this is how things work. Maybe we start from there. When a governor gets an allocation, the most important document in every government that you see is the budget. The budget is the destiny direction for a particular period of time, usually within 1 year. We've had a situation where the lifespan of a budget start from June to the other June. And now I think
that's a year.
Yes, that's a year. I think we're trying to match up with January to January. But again, one important thing that we have also lost out in the process, I mean those in government, is that it's not necessary for you to have a yearly budget.
Okay.
But it's necessary for you to have a proposition as to how you want to spend your money. For instance, if you have a budget for 2025 and you are unable to execute that budget satisfactorily, you can actually get to your House of Assembly and say you want to extend the lifespan of this budget to cover the next year. Because what we've had over the years is that we can actually say, oh, we have a budget of 1 billion naira. And at the end of the day, the life performance of that budget can sit somewhere around 200 million. And that means that the performance of the budget is below pass. But what we do is that we quickly forget that budget, we pick on another document, make another estimation, present it again as if it's necessary for us to continue to have this paper. And at the end of the day, you see that the budget worth or the worth of our budget is just like a paper, because we are not, even when we are supposed to be bound by the budget, it's just a document that we just, after 1 year, we just trash it like a normal, like a tissue paper. And again, the people are not aware of this destiny direction that I talk about. For example, if you get to religious houses, if you get out and you mention destiny, people take it very seriously. But what is more important than your destiny is the destiny direction of your government. Because everything your government does affects you directly. So if I do not know what my government is spending money on, I cannot even critique it, because I don't know. So the budget is not a document that people are interested in. So they don't know how, for example, Sanwo-Olu will govern them from January to December. They don't have an idea. They don't have an idea of what allocation goes into capital project, of what allocation goes into recurrent expenditure. They don't have an idea. They don't even have an idea of how much the government is spending, for example, to take care of the government house. They don't have an idea. And because the people in government understand the fact that the people out of government do not know, we practice what we call copy and paste kind of budgeting. And that's why you see for the federal government, for example, I didn't know for the 2025, consistently in the last 5 years, there's been a recurrent expenditure on buying cutlery in Aso Rock. And sometimes you ask yourself, are we throwing party? Is it a house of party? Because there's no need for anybody to keep changing some of these basic things. And that may sound annoying, but it's not as annoying as the fact that state government continue to duplicate one particular item. For instance, in Ondo State, in the last 10 years, there's been 1 billion naira allocated for the office of the Commissioner for Finance for the past 10 years. So I think about last year, that came to a front burner. People were asking questions.
For the past 10 years?
10 years.
1 billion allocated to the office of the Commissioner.
Commissioner for Finance.
What's it tagged as?
It's allocated to the office of the Commissioner
Just
of
like
Finance.
that.
Yes. So when this thing came to fall last year, you know, the response of the office is that this thing has been there. I met it like that. It means that nobody is even interested in how some of these monies are being spent. So at the end of the day, if we were not in democracy, I would blame people in power. But since we are in democracy, democracy is the only form of government that lays emphasis on the people more than those that are governing them. And since we are in democracy, any error I see in the act of governance, I put the blame back to the people, because everything about democracy is about the people. have you ever thought, because a lot of people say, oh, votes don't count. Oh, have you ever thought about the fact that if truly votes don't count, people will not go as high as paying 10,000 naira. I have been at a polling unit where people pay as high as 10,000 naira to secure the vote. And somebody is still sitting somewhere and is saying votes don't count. If votes don't count, you can talk about manipulation. Manipulation happens virtually everywhere. The US election that brought in Donald Trump, not this first one, not this last one, the first one. There were accusations as to the manipulation from one Russia agency and all of that. You remember, manipulation will happen at every point in time. What is important is that what is the essence of manipulation? Manipulation is to paint a wrong impression to the people that their votes don't count. And I think we are falling for that well enough in Nigeria that an average Nigerian thinks that it does not have a say in the process of his government. For instance, if you elected somebody into the House of Assembly, this is what you were trying to say the other time. At the end of the day, before the budget even becomes a public document, it goes to the House of Assembly. There's a committee that is set up. They look at the budget, and the committee of the whole, which means that every member of the House of Assembly actually sit down to look at the budget. I'm supposed to know, what allocation have you given to my local government? If I'm from Ikeja, for example, or Onigbongbo, for example, or let me mention my own local government, I'm from Eseldo in Ondo State. I'm supposed to sit down and see that, this is the allocation that is given to me. It is my job as House of Assembly member to actually critique that that part of the budget and see that, in fact, in some cases, as it happened in NDDC, there were allocations that were given to communities that never existed. So they can say, we are doing road for black community. And in actual fact, black community never existed. So we have seen situations like that, that allocations were, projects were awarded to communities that never existed. So it is your duty to look at those papers and identify the project and confirm, as a matter of fact, that those communities actually existed. And you do everything possible at the end of the day to liaise with the executive, because the House of Assembly members do not execute project. This idea of constituency project is not meant for them to be executed. The idea is to ensure that you attract a project to your own constituency. It is the executive that is supposed to execute that project. Once we begin to operate a democracy where legislatures begin to have a project, begin to execute them, then we are derailing democracy. Let me remind you that the most important arm of government when it comes to democracy is actually the legislature. Because we've had a situation in Nigeria where we even had a military president. So it means that we have, during military rule, you can have executive arm. During military rule, you have judiciary, but you don't get to have the legislature. And why is that? It's because democracy is about the people, and they want the people to have somebody that is representing them in the parliament, either in the House of Assembly or the National Assembly through the House of Representatives or through the Red Chamber, the Senate. So this is just how things work. So when you talk about money of government, the governor does not have the power to spend the money of government as a lot of people think the governor has.
Oh, really?
Yes, the governor does not have that power. The governor does not have the power to spend a kobo without first obtaining an approval from the House of Assembly. And it is believed that your own House of Assembly member is representing your interest. So in interpretation, what democracy has done for us is to have given power to the people and say, okay, this man who is going to spend the money, we have removed the power from his hand to spend the money. He must consult with the people first before he spends the money. But if you elect a charlatan to represent you in parliament, then it means that your voice will not be heard in any way, because in the first place, you have elected somebody who does not have the capacity to actually represent your interest. So you can say, the governor is living large, but the largeness of the living is limited to what the House of Assembly permits at every point in time.
Interesting, to be honest with you, Dawn, because somebody sent a message lately. Person was like, "Oh, VUP, you guys only discuss politics and all of that. There are endemic issues to be looked into. The state governors are not actively doing what they're supposed to do. The roads are very bad." I think he talked about Adodo or something. He said the road is very poor, and they've been calling out the state government. Most times they've written petitions, and they're all interested in politics. That the president has done his part by ensuring that these governors get their allocation monthly, and the governors are meant to deliver. But you can see that there's a limit to where the president can get to. There's a limit to what the president can do.
I'm sorry for cutting in.
Okay.
And I think we have to also be clear that the chunk of our development will come from state. The federal government lacks the capacity to develop the nation at the pace that we want the nation to develop. And this is what I mean. It's a community, it's a country of 36 states. Somebody sitting in Abuja cannot come to my community. You don't even know the road there to come and develop it. But it's easier for the state government because they have the chunk. When you compare the percentage of the people they are governing and the chunk of the money they have, it's easier for them. In fact, easier even than the local government. You agree with me that the closest arm of tier of government to you is actually the local government. But they do not have that kind of resources. They do not have that kind of resources. So the major chunk of this money is resident with the state government. So it is logical for anybody to make the argument that, see, for the development that Nigerians really want, then we must look at the direction of the state government. Now we can talk about the Calabar, Lagos Calabar Coastal Highway. Those are huge investment. We can leave it for the federal government. We can talk about the airport in some of these cities. We can leave it for the local government, for the federal government. But when we are talking about how I'm going to leave my house and get to this studio, then we must hold the state government responsible. I do not use the Calabar Expressway every time, but I use this road that takes people to your studio. I use it virtually all the time. So it gives us a clear understanding that our own expectation should come majorly from those people that are governing us at the realm of the state. And that's why it's very important for us to put eye, quote unquote, on the kind of people. See, you can create a sane state out of a seemingly confused country. God forbid. Let's even say, oh, Nigeria is not living up to expectation. A state government can actually say, oh, I am going to deliver my people to a certain extent from the pang of poverty that is bedeviling them. For example, the economic direction of any country will be set by the federal government. But you can shield your people from the impact of that economy. What do I mean?
Okay.
If we are talking about subsidy removal, it's not within the purview of the state government to remove subsidy. And one of the things that drove people into poverty this year is the issue of this subsidy removal. Because, of course, when subsidy got removed, it had impact on everything. Agri produce, transportation, and all of that. But I'm going to ask you, I was driving around my city the other day, in my state, and I saw the heavy reliance on petrol, and I was angry because every sector you see, there was a devilish philosophy that got popular in when they wanted to sell off all the assets of government when Obasanjo was the president. It is that government does not have business in business. I don't know whether you've heard that. Government doesn't have business in any business. So government cannot run any business because people will run it at grant. So let's give it to private investors so they can run it very well. That's a lie. That's a lie.
Don, I want you to hold that thought because we want to go on a break, a very short break. We'll be right back because I love the direction of this. What you're saying is actually right. Most of these communities, you will see that people who are moving in there to build houses or renovate houses at the same time have to contribute money to work on the roads. Meanwhile, there is a local government, there is a state government that's meant to do that, but because they want to have easy breezy to go in and go out, they have to be the ones to work on the roads. I must tell you that we have a lot of that specifically done in Lagos. But we'll take a very short break and the evening rush continues. So kindly stay with us. that we have a lot of land specifically done in Lagos. But we'll take a very short
break.
How
is that? And never been the joke. It will worry you as it will affect your business. So much on don't call. How's the dark and never been the joke? It will worry you as it will affect your business. So much on don't call. Imagine say you wake up for morning, light no shake, site don't block, business no get wahala, everything dey okay. No be dream with your Haku. Now you dey control your light. Your Haku dey sell gas cooker, freezer, fridge, and then go furnish you with modern kitchen whether na inverter, batteries, panels, smart street lights, be na solar AC system wey you wan use for house, business, and for industrial work. Your Haku stand chim to help you. Bye to never be no wait till transformer go spoil again oh yeah, run call your Haku for 070-121-30260 or 080-324-82573, or you fit to call 080-669-60066. For Lagos, we there for shop F1179 Industrial Section, Ojo Alaba International Market, or shop G6 Electronic Section, Alaba International Market, Line, Uche Obochi Plaza, Abuja Office na Corporate 13, Dubai International Market, back of Games Village, Karu District for Abuja. For Port Harcourt, we there for number 51 Oporo Road, Eziowa Elite Trade Center for River State. Yohaku website na www.yohakuproducts.com. Online store na www.yohakustore.com. Yohaku, from sun to earth, we dey make your mind dey cool.
Alrighty, welcome back. This is still the Evening Rush right here on the Voice of the People 90.3 FM. My name is Esther Wachuku. My guest today is Don Dotun Ojourn. He is a politician. Let me just tell you that if you guys do not even know, he's a political and social affairs commentator. You can hear how he's aptly speaking. These are the people that actually follow through these things and they understand how the entire process in Nigerian government. They understand how the process works. Don, thank you so much. Please kindly continue from where you stopped.
But when the philosophy became popular that government does not have business in business, we started selling off all our assets, and it sounded well to a lot of people because if we compare the attitude of an average government establishment to the private sector, you see that there would be a lot of differences and all of that. So it made sense to a lot of people. But here is the issue. If you read the economies of nations that have developed, you see that one of the things that they did is to set standard and regulation. Let's use UAE for example. Okay. UAE, when they started attracting people for tourism, they didn't leave the tourism sector in the hand of private individuals. They were regulating, and the best way you can regulate is when you have investment in that sector. Let's start from housing. All right. Everywhere you turn to in Nigeria today, housing has become a big issue. Seriously, big issue. So my is it everywhere? It's everywhere you get to. It's everywhere. My landlord, for example, can wake up today and say, I am moving this rent from 20,000 naira to 30,000 naira. And if you say, I'm going to tell the government, it's going to ask you a very, very important question. Did the government build this house for me? And you will have to respect yourself to say, no, sir, the government did not build for you. But how can government crash the prices of houses, for example? It's because they can't do anything because they do not have investment in that sector. If, for instance, in this area, government has an estate, and well-built estate maybe pay weekly or monthly, as the case may be, and they peg it and say, oh, this estate, we are going to give it to people. In fact, we don't want to even give it to individuals. We want to give it to companies. So everybody that is working in your station, because they want to achieve two things. Number one, they want to decongest the road because of the amount of traffic that people get into every day. You know, your traffic is your economy. When people are hooked up in traffic for hours, you have actually wasted manpower. So what they would do is that close by here, if government has investment around here, and they are dealing with your company directly, 30 of your staff are living there, and they say they can only pay 20,000 naira. They will now give private investors that want to invest and private landlords around this area that, oh, this government housing is actually 20,000 per year. We are giving you 10,000 leeway for increase. So no house in this area can go past 30,000. That's how to regulate the housing issue, for example. And you do this across all sectors that you can invest. And the easiest way to do this is to start with agriculture. In Ondo State, for example, I wanted to, when I went into agri, because everything I have criticized, I have tested. I don't want to be an activist. I'm not an activist. They can talk and criticize, and there's no solution. So I said, okay, well, so when I was, anytime I travel and I see this mass expanse of land, I always say, oh, I want to actually try my hand on agriculture so that I know what it means to actually develop this sector. So I got into it, and I moved around 17 local governments looking for tractor. 17, there's no single tractor. It was the 18th one that we had one that was granted, and we're looking for how to bring it up. No serious government will behave like that. You want to aim at, I'm talking about 2 years ago. Now, you're talking about feeding 200 million people. And you're talking about removing subsidy. You're talking about all of these things. And the Yorubas will say, once hunger is banished in the community, the definition, it shows that the first reason why, the first thing that shows that the community is in poverty is when the people cannot feed.
But
we have 700.
The president commissioned tractors very recently, where he introduced one of his friend Alex or something at the venue. Then where we heard ISWAP or whatever say anyone who uses those tractors, because he was trying to encourage mechanized farming.
Yes.
That anyone who uses those tractors, they'll pay dearly for it.
Okay.
So could it be that maybe some certain persons try to manipulate the system where you try to introduce mechanized farming and it's balkanized, because they think that if there is mechanized farming, there'll be no need to pay people to work on the field? I don't know if you understand.
So I think the intent of the government was actually fantastic, but like I used to say, there's always a huge gap between the launch of intention and the actual realization of the intention. So we are still within the period of waiting for the delivery of those tractors. I think that's where we are now. But what I'm saying is that we should not have built a country that waits for the president to buy tractor before state governors have one.
Wow.
In fact, we should not be crying now that herders are invading our farms. Because if somebody had looked and seen the need for us to be fed in our community, you know the crisis that is coming in 2032, 2035, is that you will see people lying down outside if something urgent is not done, and they will die as a result of hunger. My father told me that we have never seen people who die because of hunger. That's why we're growing up. My father never knew that in 2026 Nigeria will go to 260 million people. He never saw that coming. He never saw that. Now the reality is that people are knocking at your door to say, you remember what happened in 2020? People coming to say, COVID, please don't give us money, we just need food to eat. So when we build a community like this that's unable to feed itself, we are inviting crisis, and all the political will be suspended. What we'll be thinking is how to banish hunger. So what I'm saying is that state government must think strategically and look at sectors. If I were a governor of a city like Lagos, I don't have interest whether I have oil in my state. I don't have interest in many things. Movement of people in Lagos alone. And I will decongest the road by making sure, there's a confused idea of the BRT. Fantastic idea, one of the noblest ideas that the Mr. President brought when he was in government. And at the end of the day, I think, as your community grows, there must be innovative improvement on what you have done.
True.
BRT is not mass transit. What we have now is that we've turned BRT to mass transit. No, the idea of BRT is not mass transit. It's not that I want to pay less and enter BRT. No, there are already long white buses, the one provided by the state government, the one provided by the federal government, that are supposed to fill in that gap. Let me tell you 3 things that BRT is supposed to do. Number 1, it's supposed to take traffic away, support and take traffic away from Lagos. And for you to do that, you must target people at the middle class who drive. I was counting the number of vehicles with 1 passenger in them. The other Monday that I spent about 6 hours in traffic, and I counted 54 vehicles having just 1 person. The idea is to take these people off the road so that they can park their vehicle at home and come to take BRT and come to the office.
And decongest the road.
And decongest the road. But they will not do that because in BRT today, you have to queue for 3 hours before it gets to your turn.
Exactly.
In BRT today, both the middle class and the lowest class are struggling to get seat. No, that's not the idea. The idea is to cater to these people. And if you are so interested in saying, let's make it a mass transit, create another version of a BRT with AC, and it's going to the island from wherever.
And the payment mode for that one will be different.
It's different. It's obviously higher. And you are targeting people who have vehicles, and they will drop their vehicles in the house. They will gladly come, and they know that they will not stay past 30 minutes. In Europe, why is everybody talking about train? It's not as if it's that fun. But you know, when you get there 5 minutes to 11, by 11 o'clock, the train is there. So we must create a system that manages our complexities and gives the dividend of democracy to the people. You will see how people will be happy if they can leave Ikorodu and get to the island within 1 hour, 10 minutes. You will see how people will live at the outskirts of cities and they will be willing to come at every point in time. So these are some of the things. So our idea should be about engaging our state governor. And it's not as if they have not done anything. Because there are people who say, oh, they didn't do anything. No. They may not have met our desire as a people. But the only way to make anybody meet your desire is to sort the person out on the day of election. So there's no one person today, and I said this, one of the things we're dealing with, fake prophet in church, fake imam,
there's no one here that played his
and all of that. And it became an issue in the last 1 week, and they called me to a forum, and I was telling them, I said, don't pity nobody. There's nobody in the fake assembly today who does not know what they are looking for is what they are looking for. A lot of people are looking for herbalists in suit. They are too tush. They are too posh to go to the traditional herbalist, the one that my grandfather practiced. They don't want to go there. So they want to go to someone who will wear tie and suit and pretend that he's a pastor. It's the same way we are as a people on the day of election. There's nobody who does not know that one man on the ballot that will turn things around for them. But we urgent 2K allow them to think. So the problem is back to the people. And this is not to blame anybody, it's just to wake us up. That see, I know this thing in and out. And I know how terrible people can. I was there outside there, running for office, contesting and campaigning. Then I met a community of people. And after talking to them, I dropped an envelope. It's called consultation. And I dropped an envelope and a bottle of wine to tell them that I'm running for office. And immediately I entered my vehicle as I was going. They opened the envelope and I saw the money there, that it was ridiculous. According to them.
It was small?
Yes. The old man was running after my vehicle.
Wahala.
And was calling my name. This is not our money. This is not our money. He was running. I had to tell them to wait. They didn't allow me to live there until I made a promise to transfer. That's the kind of country that we are in. Everybody wants to get their own share of the national cake. And we've been pushed to believe that the only way to get it is to do it before the election. Because we think that they will not come back. The only way to get our own portion of national cake is to vote for credible people. And it doesn't matter. You said the strategy of a professional politician, you are talking about everybody moving to APC now. Do you want them to say in dying PDP? Is that what you want? They are not going to do that because they made a huge investment into getting to the position they are in. And the idea they are creating is that if you are not in APC, you cannot win election. And the people have actually bought into this narrative, and we have seemingly become helpless in our own situation. The game that we are controlling, the people are supposed to control politics. If today, let's start from civil servant, because there's a court case now that says that civil servant can actually, a court judgment can actually become joint political party. Let's start from the working class. Don't let me say civil servant. Let's call them the working class in Lagos. Let's start with the middle class. If the middle class today, as we speak, if we have a consensus that will populate the dying PDP, let's say the dying PDP, PDP now as it is, and we decide to populate PDP, in a matter of 7 months, PDP will come alive. in a matter of, if you pick, what's the smallest political party? I don't know, because I don't want to. If you, maybe, do you know Boot Party?
BOOT.
Yes.
I think I saw it amongst the parties that INEC
so
was trying to register.
there's Boot Party. If in Lagos today, we choose Boot Party, and we say everybody, the working class, as we they wake up early morning, that you see a lot of crowd, all of us that are waking up, we are politically irrelevant, useless politically. Unfortunately, politics is the one deciding our destiny. If you get to, I don't know where your place is, if you get to the expressway, you see a lot of people now continue to do the census of the number of people that have voters card. You will be alarmed at the number of people. Now, beyond that, begin to ask the question as those people who belong to a political party. You will be shocked. Lastly, ask any of them that will be willing to come out of the election. You will give up. So now the people, if we decide to say, all of us that wake up, the Yorubas call it Boji, Ojimi, the early risers, we say we want to populate Boot Party today. We will beat APC hands down in Lagos. Let them manipulate. There's a small margin for manipulation. But when the votes become overwhelming,
they
it kills manipulation. The only thing that kills manipulation is when the vote becomes overwhelming. Let me tell you this, and I take responsibility, because this thing I want to say is controversial and it can be challenged, and it's me. I take responsibility. They did election in Osun State, and they beat them hands down. After beating them, because the margin was not too much, they patch it, and declare the election inconclusive, remaining Ife area. And when they saw, as powerful as they were, I mean the APC, they had to go and meet a man outside of APC called Omishore, who later became the national secretary of APC. To curry his favor, to plead with him, to have some kind of agreement with him, for them to be able to win that. Do you know what happened? Years later, God paid the man back. He may not be a popular man. He may be a man you dislike because he dances around town. Yeah. You understand?
That's
yes, right? But the truth is that he won that election the first time. But because the margin was so, they padded it and declared it inconclusive. We had, I was not in any of the party, not in APC, not in PDP, but we had machinery, we had people that we spoke to on ground. They were able to manipulate because the margin was not much. But the one in Lagos in 2023, Obi won in Lagos. So there was no amount of in fact, I want to believe that it was manipulation that saw that figure a bit. I'm not a fan of Obi. Let me make that very clear. And I've told you repeatedly, I'm not his fan. But it shows one of the things that I love about him is his ability to rally a new generation of voters
who were usually docile.
Who were usually docile. People now have seen, we can do this. So now the power is back to the people. And the reason why we are saying, making all of this analysis is not to show that we know. It's just for the people to wake up to understand that politicians cannot manipulate without the people. Now let's even talk about INEC. If they say, INEC does this, INEC does that, I say go and sit down. The same INEC that you are complaining about is what people in all states are clamoring for, that bring INEC to come and conduct local government election. Have you seen SIEC elections? SIEC are the state electoral body.
Yes.
They practically don't go nowhere. They practically sit somewhere and write figures everywhere.
And then they declare winners.
Everywhere.
And I think it's because there's no participation, actually.
Yes, because people just know that they will do. In places where there are strong participation, you will see some bit of resistance.
Yeah.
Because in Lagos, before, in Agege, Young Progressive Party have won election.
Can you imagine? Really?
Yes, because people stood. In Agege here in Lagos, the guy later they come back to APC because he was from APC. They denied him the ticket. They manipulated him in his party. So he got angry, left, joined the Young Progressive Party, the YPP, and won election. In Ondo State, in a place called Ibaraoke, SDP won election, hands down. And they manipulated him. They went back to their office, in ODEC office. They announced another person. The guy took them to court and won. In fact, the guy spent so much money in the process. He said he didn't care because he got a lawyer who stood pro bono, who did the service
for him.
The lawyer said they went to higher court and they won them. The power of the people. You see, when the people populate the process,
Exactly.
even this SIEC, this terrible SIEC that we see, they will fall into line.
In line.
Like I said again, the people, what we're having in Rivers, for example, is because all of this thing became what it is today, because the people think they are powerless. Any day, the people wake up to their responsibility. And again, I think I should also talk about the expectation of the people. The day people begin to expect good leadership, in a matter of years, they will get it. Our expectation as we speak now is not that of good leadership. And that's why you see, if somebody elect, and this has happened to me, I'm just sharing what has happened to me. If you elect somebody into House of Assembly today, and the person refused to build house, and this has happened to me, refused to build house or to do anything, president in Nigeria, let me remind you a few of them. You know a man called Bola Ige?
Yes.
Fantastic man. People that will know that this one, no, they have brain and they can do something. He didn't get anything. Do you know a man called Gani Fawemi?
Yeah, he's late now.
Yes.
I know.
CPC.
Very great man.
Yes, very great man. He was fighting for every. I was in one of his programs. He said, "I am dying. I'm having high blood pressure because of my." He was pained. My former landlord happened to have worked with him before, and the man later became something. And he was telling me that he called Baba one day and said, "Baba, why not join the mainstream politics so that you can win?" Baba said, "No, he's not going to join." Nigerians didn't vote for him. They didn't believe him. And in every election, we will be doomed. If we had got to God forbid, we will never get to a situation where you think, oh, we only have two options. Yeah. No. If I begin to tell you about this 2023 election, the number of credible people on the ballot. Have you seen Adebayo? A man called Adebayo. Have you listened to him? Have you looked at his manifesto? This guy is clear. Is the SDP candidate.
Yes. I've been hearing him speak lately, especially against the APC.
Well, no, nobody wants to hear. All of those political parties, you will see people that have done something with their lives, and they are coming to put it on the table and say, I have done this thing. This is what I think can be done. Nobody will vote for them. Were you expecting in the first place that Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu will beat Professor Oshibajo in the primaries? Though I'm totally against the fact that Oshibajo contested against him.
Why?
I don't like that idea.
Why?
It's the same thing. A lot of people hate to hear this. It's the same thing that is happening in Rivers today. In politics, there are 2 Ds that are very, very important, especially when you want to have somebody you want to call a godfather.
Okay.
The first D is what they call dexterity.
Okay.
Now, that dexterity is not dexterity the way you see it. It's the dexterity to be able to own a spoon.
Okay.
That is long enough to dine with the devil. The second one is what they call discipline. The discipline to use the spoon in a way that your godfather will not suspect that you want to stab his back. So, in 2023, Oshibajo was the vice president of Nigeria.
Yes.
And anytime the president traveled...
Before 2023.
Before 2023. Yes, up to 2023. Yes. Anytime the president traveled then, you will see that a lot of things will happen within the government. And a lot of... So he saw that, I could actually make a difference. That is desire. Now, he said he was going to run and correct some of those things. And there's another thing called character in leadership. So immediately, as he was thinking about that, his former principal who nominated him to be the vice president threw his hat in the ring that I'm also running. So it became a contest between desire and character. A proper Yoruba man will sit down with and consider his character before a desire. And I'm being honest, you can say, oh, blah, blah, blah. It's the same thing that is happening to Fubara today. A lot of people will queue behind Fubara the way I've done consistently. I went to Rivers. I was part of those people. In his last birthday, I was there. Yeah. But again, when you're talking about character is not just about allowing the person to have his way. Character is making the person to understand your view pattern. And there are political portables You know Portable now? You know Portable? There are political portables that you cannot run to the marketplace to fight with.
Obviously.
You must understand your own person. So part of political character is to understand your own person. Can you do a rough fight? Fubara does not have that capacity to do a rough fight. So also, Yemi Osibajo went quiet on Tinubu before the election. What he should have done was to have come. You make a public statement by coming to meet your mentor and explain it to him that, sir, since you sent me there, this is what I have seen. You know I have capacity. That's why you sent me there. Not that you keep malice because you are running for the same office with the man who nominated you. That's lack of character. That's exactly what's happening. All those public dance that Fubara say, if you want to follow, don't follow. It's lack of character. There are people that will do something for you, that when they do something to you, you are not seeing what they did to you. You are seeing what they did for you. So what Fubara should have done, because he already, about 2 weeks ago, he already had upper hand.
Yes.
He already had upper hand. He should have immediately joined the APC. Yes. He should have leveraged on the principle of silence. Philosophically, even biblically. They say when your enemy falls, don't rejoice over him.
Yes.
So political character is your ability to unite all the differentials within the political system to your own advantage. If Fubara had taken the microphone today and I said, help us beg our God, because there's what they call public dressing and silent and private injury. You can injure somebody from the private
without saying anything.
And you come to the public to dress the injury. And you say, help us beg our God now. Our God is still our God. This APC where we go. Now to make his vision come to reality, you begin to show up your public perception. Your House of Assembly is it not a shame that a sitting governor, 26 out of 26, are saying you must go?
You must go.
There must be something wrong. Beyond everything, the character of Wike is nothing to write home about. But if you yourself, if you have political character, it is not just to please the person that nominated you, it's to transform the person that nominates you, for him to see you differently.
But is there any way that would have been possible? Because Wike has some certain demands. It's those demands that he feels Fubara is not living up to.
Okay.
And then along with the House of Rep members who are obviously Wike's people. That's what's going on. Everything is about money. And right now,
everything is not about money.
I'm talking about their situation in
yes, everything,
money, contract, appointments, continuity from where Wike stopped.
Everything cannot be about money. And I actually see a lot of people who say this with emotion are not there.
Why I'm saying so is that Wike keeps emphasizing agreement is agreement. One of the things he said on a public forum was about 10,000 students or whatever, or that were on scholarship or something.
No,
that did not continue
before
with
he left, one of them is the Ajuri. What's the name of this university? I was on the road some times ago. One of them. So he had employed 10,000 people before he left office. And Fubara came and said, because they were not, truly, the process was not clear. You can't be going, and that's part of the character I'm talking about. See, character comes with, do you know the meaning of the T in character? It's called tact, T-A-C-T. What is tact? Ability to step on your toes without staining your shoes. Ability for me to make my statement without making enemies. All of these are completely absent. And a lot of people can say it's because of the money. But it is those people that were denied an opportunity to govern Rivers State. When Wike went and handpicked Fubara, a lot of people killed. They killed internal democracy. So all of this fight that you and I are fighting, we are killed behind. It is against the people. In the first place, if the godson and godfathers are not fighting, am I going to take side? It is the Rivers people in the first place that has been shortchanged, because you cannot tell me that Fubara was the best person to have emerged in 2023. You cannot tell me. So at the end of the day, it comes back to the people. If the people were resolute and said, we had a better person, no matter the level of the gun, even if you are disrupting election, you still need people. Most of these people that disrupt election don't leave their houses on the day of election. They still use people. I've said it publicly. When my father went to vote, let me say this silently so that people will not hear. When my father went to vote, to the election, after voting, we came home. People brought Okada. They brought bike to bring envelope for him for voting. They brought it to the house, and I saw it. And I used that to, where's this one coming from? You understand? So now that I have seen, I know that in 2027, nobody is collecting money in my house. I have seen that, they do this thing, because I didn't know that they will respect you as an elder and still bring the envelope to your house. I thought because he voted there and nothing happened. He voted for his own party. He's a member of APC. I voted for my own party. I don't belong to his party. So we voted and everybody left. Good, nobody is coming to ask me for whether I'll get money. But I saw it. Now it's clear that at least I have control over 20 people in my household. With serious warning, nobody is taking money. Nobody is taking money. So if you do same for your own people, you have control over 2 people. The other person has control over 2 people. If we take this thing seriously, in a matter of 2 election cycles, we will get things right. Because all the bad everybody is complaining about can be fixed before the election. Once you press, what was it called? Once our brain goes on recess on the day of election, and we are trying to press a reset after we have elected the wrong set of people, we will not be able to achieve anything.
All right, quickly, I want you to help us put this through, please, because we need to open the phone lines. So there is this process. You made a lot of sense. You've explained a lot of things, but 2027 is here. There are a lot of Nigerians who don't understand the machinery behind the elections. All they come, go to polling unit and cast their vote. Meanwhile, a lot of groundwork has been done by each of these political parties as to how they can win that polling unit. Can you give us through that process, how they do it and how we can counter it?
Okay, so the first way to counter it is to belong to a party. That's the first way. Because
I cannot do politics. So
no, belonging to a political party is not doing politics. You understand? Because a lot of people just think that once you belong to a political party, you are now a full-fledged politician. No. Belonging to a political party is having a voice from the beginning of the process.
Okay.
Because in some parties, there are ways they do it. In some parties, they are their delegates are members of their ESCO. It's a decision within the party. In some political parties, delegates are elected. That means to say that we have 3 layers of election. People only know of 1, or maybe at best 2. Now, the first layer is who votes, who becomes a delegate. Now, some voting can come in. So, as a party member, you can begin to alter the outcome of the election that is still 6-7 months away by being part of those people who are voting for delegates, not even candidates. Now, you vote for delegate. So delegates gather together to vote for a candidate out of the aspirants.
Okay.
Because when you express interest that you want to run for office, they don't call you a candidate. You are an aspirant. It is after the primary election that you become a candidate. So now the first layer is who becomes a delegate. Delegates are delicate. Delegates are delicate. They are delicate. They are the one who will see white and vote for black. And so when you can decide who becomes a delegate, you have contributed something. So you know me, John Dotun or John. You know that I will vote for the right person. So you have voted for me to be a delegate. You have uttered that. So when delegates come together, now they want to elect a candidate. Now when you have credible delegate, there's all possibility that you have credible candidates. Because they will look beyond all the inducement. Do you know? It's a dangerous game, oh.
Very dangerous.
It's a long, dangerous game. Do you know that they go as high as, I don't want to use the word, there's a political word they use, of camping delegates from each other. So I can take 20 delegates now, go and put them in a separate hotel. I will not want my opponent to know that they are there. But if you have voted for person of conscience as your delegate, it is easy for the person to come out and say, oh, this is the person we are voting for. So that's the first thing. The second layer is those people that gathered in Abuja during APC primary that are elected, those are the delegates. And they are very delicate. So delegates gather and they vote for a candidate. And you now see, oh, this is the candidate of our political party. Now, when the candidate emerges, now you now have to choose one out of 18 candidates. Because in most cases, about 18 plus 1 political parties will actually feed candidate for the election. Now, again, where your input matters is that you should also have the courage to look beyond your political party. Like the example I gave in Agege the other time. When APC picked somebody in Agege and people were not happy with what happened, they went all the way to vote for YPP. When APC picked somebody in Igbarauke, in Ondo State, and people were not happy, councillorship candidate, they went and voted for SDP. In fact, when APC picked somebody in a federal election that happened in one of the constituencies in Ondo State, people looked beyond that and they went to vote for SDP. In fact, in one part of Ondo State, in Ondo East and West Federal constituency, they left all the popular party. They went and voted for what's the name of this Obi party now?
Labour Party.
No, the one he just moved to.
ADC.
They voted for ADC, and the ADC man won. He was in the House of Reps for 2 terms. In all of these things, it starts from the delegate to the candidate, then to the general election. Now, the work for the general election is not on the money of the general election. It also involves the choosing of polling unit agent, ward agent, because these are places where manipulation happens. If Party A and Party B pick somebody as their polling unit agent, and Party A agent is standing by his candidate and say, my candidate must win, and he bribes Party B candidate, and Party B agent collects bribe, he will look away from the manipulation that will happen. So again, who your party chooses at the end of the day to be their agent also matter. So as a person, you can actually come out, and this is why it's very important. Once you are credible, you can come out and express interest to your own political party that on the day of election, I want to stand as your agent. In that way, you are not just voting, you are also coloring the direction of the election.
This is exactly what happened in 2023, where a couple of votes were unaccounted for. Some agents were paid off, some agents were bribed, something like this, because they didn't have credibility.
You know why it's also very important for you to populate your party, to even get voted for as an executive. They can rig election from way before election.
Obviously.
Now, this is one of the things that they do. The party is supposed to submit the name of agent. If your party leadership is corrupt, they can decide. If your party is ABC, ABC can decide to go and collect name from PAP and submit the name of PAP members as their own agent. You know, they've won you tactically without knowing. For example, if Abure is fighting Obi, if Abure is fighting Obi, Abure can decide to say, hey, you want to win election, Abioya, just continue. Abure can decide to populate the name of his agent with APC members. And on the day of election, at least you are expected to have one vote. Because if you have an agent, you are supposed to have one. That agent is supposed to vote. You will just see that they will just open on the day of election. You will not see a single vote for that party. It means that your problem you have is not the Tinubu you are making noise about. It is way before Tinubu became president. Way it starts with the party leadership. And as long as many of us who have sense, who have head, who have brain, are saying, oh, I don't want to belong to party, charlatans will continue to lead those parties. And there's no community where charlatan leads, and such a community will produce champions.
Definitely
it's not possible.
Wow, Don. That's, in fact, I know some people will say, Esther, you need to bring this man back. This session is not over. We need more classes. We need more.
Some people we abuse.
No, there is. This is
that.
The truth. So anyone who abuses or we receive it here.
Yeah.
But this is the reality.
Yeah,
we cannot run away from. No matter how sentimental. I always tell them. I said, the way politics is run in this part of the world, we need political orientation.
Yes.
We need to understand how this works.
You have to detach your emotion completely from the realism of
that's the thing. That's the thing. All right.
Sorry. Let me cite this quick example before you take us, so that you understand this part of emotion. So I was running for office, they called my elder brother. I don't know whether I shared with you before.
No, you haven't.
Okay, so they called my elder brother and they said they were going to make him supervisory councillor at the local government.
Okay.
But his duty is to ensure that I don't win my polling unit.
Ushe?
Yes, it's my elder brother. So they told him that.
Your blood brother?
Yes, my brother.
Okay.
So they told him that. So I got that from intelligence, and I saw the way he was behaving to ensure that he wins that polling unit. So we had a meeting without him, and I told everybody in the meeting, that's family meeting, without him. I said, I've had my moment of glory. I've been virtually everywhere across town. Since my elder brother graduated, he returned to the village to stay with you guys. Say, let's give him an opportunity to win that polling unit so that he can become a supervisor, so that he too can have a moment of glory. Do you know what happened? He won that polling unit. And after that, APC denied him. They didn't give him anything. But of course, if I'm not emotionally mature, that could cause some friction within the family.
Serious friction.
So detach your emotion. Madam,
hey, Wahala. 0036929933. That's the number to call. 08036929933. The WhatsApp number is 081717563338. 081717563338. Hello, good evening.
Yeah, good evening, Esther.
Good evening, sir. Happy New Year to you. Welcome.
Yeah, my name is Chukuma, calling from Ilasa.
All right, Mr. Chukuma, please go ahead.
Yeah, I greet your guest there.
Thank you.
I want to ask a question. The tax that the government wants us to pay, and then the way they calculated it, which job did they give the citizens that will generate this tax? While from the papers and TV and radio we heard that NNPC did not pay almost 210 trillion naira. Why hasn't the Senate oversee that to be sure that that money come out? So my question is, how much do they want to realize from this tax? Will we reach 210 trillion? How much are we making in our product, petroleum? How much?
All right.
Why is it that we are not asking questions? We are talking of, I've been listening to your radio since. For over 1 hour now, we are talking of Nike, Ubara, River State, and all that. But look, they are taxing us without even, you are taxing us without anything. Now, we have brought a graduate out. The graduate cannot work. When the 3-4 graduates in a house, they are back to eat from the same course they are supposed to have left. And then they say that parents will pay tax. This one will pay tax.
All right, thank you very much. Can you respond to that?
Okay, so the
please?
good thing about all of this is that government is not expecting anybody who's not earning to pay tax.
Okay.
As bad as we may want to make that look, they are not devil.
Okay.
The way we eulogize devil in our place, they say it's a man that will give you chicken and in return he will take an entire human being. Government is not like that, and the tax situation does not look as if the government wants you to pay tax when you're doing nothing. But the reality is that we need to reconsider our education system because we keep churning out graduates that we have not prepared for the reality of the marketplace. We are building. They built us just to look for job. So why will you blame us for looking for job if we cannot find one? So if you build us to look for job, you must create the job that we must do. And like I used to say it in Yoruba, I don't have the English translation. Ikoto one let to everybody. What's on to everybody? What's on ground in Nigeria? The resources we have, it's enough for everyone.
I think where he's coming from is the fact that, like he says, monies are missing, no accountability.
Yes.
These people sit on it. Then you ask people to pay tax, they do. You don't tell them what you use the tax to do. There's nobody giving accountability of what sectors the tax were utilized or implemented.
No.
So every time you keep imposing on the people, you expect them to perform their civic responsibilities while you are not holding yourself accountable for that.
I totally understand.
That's
and I
where
think,
a lot of them are coming
I think
from.
that's what exactly we're saying.
Yeah. Hello, good evening.
Hi, Esther.
Hello.
Good evening.
Good evening, Joval. Can you speak up, please?
Yes, I can hear you.
Welcome.
I
What's
hope
your
you can
name?
hear me too.
Yes, Happy New Year.
The same to you. Happy New Year once again.
Thank you, Joval.
Happy New Year to
Hello?
right, Mr. Shegun Shobito.
No, that's not Mr. Shegun Shopiton. This is Don Dotun Ojon. Have you been
Oh,
following
good
us
evening
this
to
morning?
you, our guest.
As I said,
Apology for
this
calling me.
program started.
Yes, I tuned in and let me start from the last thing before that he said regarding, with all due respect to his opinion about what transpires between Fubara and Wike. You know, he took his time to narrate that, relating.
Hello, Joval. People that are calling on WhatsApp, your internet is not good. If your internet needs to be good, if you're going to call on WhatsApp, 08036929933. Hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening.
Welcome, Happy New Year. Please, what's your name?
My name is Abdul Jalil. I'm calling from Kichalapo.
Angelina.
Abdul Jalil.
Okay, Abdul Jalil. You don't give me fears. Why the beer Angelina? Oh yeah, please go ahead.
Name can be anything now.
No, because you're a man, that's why.
Yes. In fact, your guests have spoken well. Yes, I used to be a politician before. When I finished university, when I finished from school, I said, let me just go and join APC.
Okay.
I joined APC in Ogun State. I realized that everything that comes to any particular place comes through the political party members. You can't get anything in any way. You have to be a member of a political party. Even though when jobs come to our place, they say, go and do exam, we still want to give them job, we give it to the politicians. We have to be among them. So when we join the politics, we ensure that they know us among the politicians. But what baffles me is like, someone has asked me among them that you are not useful in the politics, because you can carry ballot box me. If they are campaigning, can you be at the front? Can you face anything? And that's the truth. We are useless among them because they know that you are a contender. You are educated, you are a graduate, you are a contender with a person that's going for senator or representative out of rep. You can contend with them. So we are nobody among them. I have to leave. I left them because I know that the ideology in that place, in that politics, in that APC, when I joined them, is different from the one I'm bringing. You have a good idea, but the idea cannot showcase because of what we are minority. All of them, they are majority. Whenever anybody emerges any position among us, they will say in the meeting that Baba Lagbaja has become the commissioner. We have to go and greet him in his house. So he give us money. When he gives them 1 million naira or something, when they bring it to the political party meeting, they would have removed half. Baba Loke, Uma leader, Baba leader, they have collected 500,000 naira from people. This one has collected. Before they bring the money down to us, it remains 100,000 naira. They will go and buy Indomie and share it among us. That's what politicians do. That's what politicians do. So it's very Nigerian politician is very different. The way is very different. You can't understand it.
Yeah.
So that's it. You can't understand it.
Thank you.
So thank you very much.
Thank you for calling.
So now imagine that Abdul Jalil also has 15 people in his unit that think like him. You get what I'm saying now? So it's just a matter of population. There's a way you can shock the people. Those people who decide what they do now are probably illiterate. Apologies to them.
No, but sure.
Now, so if you have 15 of people like him, you will see that a new kind of politics will emerge. And that's why we will keep laying emphasis on the people. The people.
All right, 08036929933. Hello, good evening.
Hello.
Welcome. What's your name, please?
Good evening. This is Boyerson calling from Afro-Media.
Happy New Year to you. Welcome.
I wish you same.
All right.
And I salute your guest.
Yes, Don
Yes.
John.
Yes, he has opened our eyes the more.
Yeah.
May he remain blessed in Jesus' name.
Amen.
Yes, all of what he has spoken, I've been listening. Like I said, he has opened our eyes the more. Please, I want him to continue to educate us because I think I've learned a lot from him now.
Yeah.
Then I would even want the masses to follow suit because what he has just told us this night means a lot. Right?
Yeah.
I am now beginning to even register with any of the political parties that I know that can deliver. So you get.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. And at the same time, I will suggest in this program
Nigerians should wake up and ask for electoral reforms.
Okay.
That is very, very essential. Because if we don't do that, no matter what we do, at the end of the day, it will still be Baba Sokwe.
All right, thank you very much. Me, which political party now will I go and join now? It's not as if I'm doing the politics, but let me just join which 08036929933, and the WhatsApp number is 0817-1756-338. 0817-1756-338. That is a WhatsApp number. Hello, good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening. Happy New Year to you. What's your name?
Uzochukwu calling from Ozo.
Uzochukwu from Ozo. Welcome, sir. Please go ahead.
Yeah. I would have loved your guest to elaborate more on what the first caller, that is Jarin, just said. Talking of joining political party and having a different idea from the idea of the people that are there. Can you carry ballot box? There's no end in carrying ballot box. Sometimes risky of life, security of life matters in those areas. So how can those, like those of Jalili that don't have that, other side of mind, even if they are in their 20, two people that have gun can be two people that are 100. So how do we address in this area? That's what I want to know, because a lot of people want Nigeria to be good.
Yes.
A lot of people, many of us who are not government workers, that are working on our own, and that know that, let's for instance, me now that is driving a truck driver, I know that if I fly Canada, I will do more better. But if Nigeria is good, I can do better here. And so a lot of us want to do that. How then now do we, because what we say now is good, but on that day of election, a lot of things happen. Even people coming to vote self. People coming out to vote. My close local government here, they locked gate 2023 election. 3 people were killed.
Election,
3 people were killed. So how do we address all those things? It's not that people don't know what to do.
All right, thank you very much, sir.
So in every game, change always comes with some kind of resistance, and consistency is the only thing that can bring results. And I keep telling people, for example, the fact that I ran for election and I did not win does not mean that I will not run again. You understand? So consistency will continue to enlighten the people. And when people are strongly convinced that their life revolves around what the government makes out of it, then we will go out again and again until we get to a point where it becomes practically impossible for them, or let's even start from getting difficult for them to continue to manipulate the way they are manipulating.
And another thing I would have expected you to tell us is anticipating what these people might do on that election day and how to counter those things. Like what he said, some people, they locked their gates, some people were killed. You anticipate that this is what is going to happen. How do you counter it, or how are you going to be prepared for it?
Okay, so you cannot actually be prepared for what your enemies are planning.
Okay.
But the truth is that, look at the cases of the ballot box snatching, everything that happened. It happens when there are not enough people on ground. They don't, in fact, I have seen a situation in a place called Idonre. The people came with gun and they drove to the polling units. When they saw the number of people standing there, they just drove past.
No, but sometimes there are a lot of people and you see them chase those people away with those guns. Of course, even the security officials that will run.
We run. Those instances will happen. There's no perfect election anywhere.
I know, but when you know those people come, what you that is there to vote, what do you do? Because you cannot go there armed. You're not supposed to go to polling unit with weapons, but you want to protect your vote. You want your candidate to win. You don't want anybody to rob you of that.
Okay.
So the question is, how do you already anticipate this? What do you do?
Okay, so nobody will advise you to risk your life because you want to protect your vote. And that's why we are talking to more people, so that if, for example, through whatever means, your candidate lost out in a polling unit, is not losing out in B polling unit.
Okay.
And that's what INEC is trying to say, that if there's crisis in any polling unit, they are going to cancel election in that polling unit. It's also to discourage. And I know the new INEC chairman is also thinking of more ways to actually get some of these things.
Because
also,
the president just disbursed 1 point something trillion naira to the new INEC chairman ahead of the elections.
So we have cases like this here and there.
Right.
But again, like I said, if like in 2023 that we're talking about, there were a lot of incidents in Lagos that people. But the truth is that Labour Party still won the presidential election.
Elections, it's true.
Now
You're
imagine if, and I keep saying it, the only cure from all of this is still in the hand of INEC. One of the major cures. For example, if you put the election in a way, timetable, they can rig with timetable.
Yes.
I forgot to mention that once you put presidential election first, you have rigged the entire election. You don't know.
Hold on. You go talk that one. Kudos. Hey, welcome. How are you?
Very fine, Esther.
Thank you for joining us today, Kudos.
Yes, Esther. Good evening.
Good
and
evening.
Happy
New Year.
New Year.
I'm just seeing you this year. Welcome.
Thank you very much, Esther.
Please go ahead.
And also, Lagos and all around Nigeria, I'm wishing us a happy New Year, and we thank God for seeing another year. So I want to quickly bring to our notice that as we have celebrated and we have entered the new year, so many people will be making what we call New Year resolution. I know many people have their goal. They would have set goals for the year 2026, and they have plans. And as you are making all of these plans, it is very, very important that you have your investment plan. And one of the investment that you need to have this 2026 is to make sure that you own your own piece of earth. You own your own landed property. And that is why Kudos Homes Limited is always there for you. We have celebrated you in the year 2025. We gave the Christmas and New Year promo, which is still running at this point of time. And then we want you to take advantage of it, because your set goals for 2026, at least it is still affordable for you to achieve them. If you have a landed property, if you want to have a landed property in 2026, you can easily achieve it this January with our Christmas and New Year promo. So let me quickly call the locations where we have our properties. Now in Lagos, we have in Agbowa, Ikorodu. The name of the estate is called Kudos City. Kudos City in Agbowa, Ikorodu is selling for 1.5 million naira per plot. And at this promo that we are still doing, which will be ending very, very soon. Now the promo, you can get it at a discounted price of 20%, and that will be 1.2 million naira for our property in Agbowa, Ikorodu, Kudos City, which is going for 1.5. You can get it for 1.2 now. And in Omuketu Ekpe, where we have Kudos Heritage Phase 1 and Phase 2. Now the Phase 1 is selling for 3.5 million naira. When you do the math, you take away 20%, you will get it for 2.8 million naira per plot. 2.8 million naira per plot. And the Phase 2, which is selling for 2.5 million naira, if you take away 20%, you will get it for 2 million naira per plot. The good thing about Kudos Heritage Omuketu Ekpe is that people are already building in that estate. So if you want an estate that you can buy and build, Kudos Heritage Phase 1 or 2 is your perfect place to put an investment in 2026. I said you can get any of this estate at a discounted price of 20%. The beautiful thing is that during the Christmas, most of the people that we took there, they all got a plot of land, and I will appreciate all of our clients that patronized us in 2025. And if you want to be among the number this 2026, that is why I am here today. And the phone number to call is 0905 904 7514. 0905 904 7514. Now we also have our estate in Delta State, where we have the Fairview Estate Phase 2, which is located in Ibuzo, Delta State. Now, this estate is along Zion Road in Ibuzo, and is at the back of Admiralty University, and is currently going for 2.5 million naira per plot. Like I said, you can still grab the Christmas and New Year promo, and you get it at a discounted rate of 20%, and you get it for 2 million naira for a plot. And we have the Kudos Height, which is also located in Ibuzo, but is along St. Thomas College Road in Ibuzo. And Kudos Height is going for 1.5 million naira at a discounted price of 20%. You get it for 1.2 million naira per plot. And we also have the Kudos Court, which is also in Ibuzo, and Kudos Court is going for 5.5 million naira per plot. Now, all of these estates in Delta State are very close to the Asaba International Airport, and they are also close to the Coca Junction, just 15 minutes away from the Coca Junction, and they are a few minutes away from the first and second Niger Bridge. So if you're looking at getting a property in Delta State, all of these estates are perfect for you. And like I said, you seize this opportunity because the promo is ending soon. I don't think the promo will still be on at the 3rd week of this month. So if you want to grab the opportunity, you grab it now. And in Enugu, we also have an estate which is located in Udo in Enugu State, and is going for just 1.5 million naira. The actual price is 2 million, but we are giving a 25% discount in Enugu. You'll be wondering, why are we doing that? But we just want Enugu people to feel happy. That is why we are giving them 25% discount. So instead of 2 million naira, you can get the property for just 1.5 million naira per plot. And like you always hear us say, we go for inspection every Thursdays and Saturday. Like tomorrow, I have a lot of people that will be joining me for inspection so that they can see the property. And then if you like to join us tomorrow, our office is at number 171 Egbeda Idimu Road, Abule Odu bus stop, Egbeda, Lagos. Number 171 Egbeda Idimu Road, Abule Odu bus stop, Egbeda, Lagos. And our website is www.kudoshomesLimited.com, www.kudoshomesLimited.com. And if you want to catch us on Instagram or on Facebook, it is very easy. Just search Kudos Homes Limited, or you type at Kudos Homes Limited. And once again, our phone number is 0905 904 7514, 0905 904 7514. So you don't wait to buy land, you buy land and you wait. And it's a good time of the year to own a property. So start investing so that before the end of the year you can think about harvesting your investment. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Esther.
Thank you. We appreciate you giving us that insight. Okay, and that's
All right.
kudos for you. Don, you were trying to tell us something. We needed to take in kudos. You said that it can be reached from the timetable, the calendar.
Okay, so because of our emotional stance politically, we always want to belong to the winning team. Because politics also requires the courage for you to contest or to be part of those people who never won election. That's also part of politics. So when you from the very beginning, when you come out to say, oh, we are doing presidential election first, go check history. Whosoever becomes the president, whatever party becomes the party of the president, determines the direction of the rest election. You just discover that people just fall behind. It's not convenient for them, but they just fall behind. So they want a governor. In fact, the governor will come across as somebody. Once a party wins presidential, there's this confidence that the governor has, and say, if they had done governorship election in Lagos before the presidential election, Labour Party will have won them
landslide, hands down. That election,
yes.
So
if that and that's an assignment for INEC. If you want to, we have 18+1 political parties in Nigeria now, because recently, as a result of a court case, we now have Youth Party. Now, so if you want people to actually believe in the credibility of what you are offering, then it's about time for us to scatter our election, starting from the list. Let's leave one Saturday for House of Assembly election. You will see both party will win in some areas. You will see all parties will win. Let's take the second Saturday to do governorship election. You will see that all of this winner takes all that we have, that one party will, it will reduce. And it will give opportunity for credible people, for people to be able to express their thinking, what is in their head through the ballot. Then in the last, do the presidential. And the National Assembly. Do it together. Or if you like, just do the National Assembly. You will see. Then that's what they call the color of democracy. Then there will be conversation in the National Assembly. There will be confrontation in the National Assembly.
Instead of what we're saying
of, well, it's been like this, let it just go. I mean, in fact, I'm not even interested in confrontation. I'm interested in conversation. Because democracy is a government of discussion.
Exactly.
And it must not be a monotonous discussion.
Exactly.
It must not say all the time the A's have a bagger. No, let us have robust conversation about issues.
True.
You see all these monies we are talking about? If we have populated our National Assembly with people of different political parties,
they would have
serious-minded people, not people who will win under Labour Party and go there and run to APC. I mean serious-minded. You will see that all of these agencies of government will sit at most of these monies. If you guys say the president is not aware.
Are you sure?
He's not aware.
You sure?
He's not aware.
Don't.
Most of this is not. I'm telling you the truth. It's not. At the point of what they call oversight. Because if you have a mixed National Assembly, then you have a mixed committee. It means that people from AP are member, from APC are member, from PDP are member, and the interest of the nation is at the heart. So from the period of oversight, they will have pinpointed, this is what we approve, this is the paper, it's 070. How come we are getting here, we are seeing 090?
Like the gazetted something that just recently was exposed.
Yeah, so this is
very
some
true.
Of the things, yeah.
Hello, 080-3692-9933. That's the number. Hello, good evening.
Good evening, Madam Esther.
Good evening, sir. Welcome. Happy New Year.
Yeah, thank you. Can I say Happy New Year to our guest here?
Happy New Year to you, sir.
Yeah. I love your advice to us politicians.
Sir, what is your name?
Sorry, I'm George from Ojo.
All right, Mr. George. Quickly, please. We are running out of time.
Okay. I just want to shift in one or two things concerning the issue of party membership and not being a politician. I don't see that one possible. Because let me tell you something. In politics, once you join politics and political party, if you are not a committed member, you are not a politician. There are so many things you will not even see, talk less of hearing. And when we come to choosing these delegates, it's done so secretly. The ward chairman is the one to pick delegates from the ward level. 3 from each ward. And the LGA chairman will monitor those 3 you want to give the slots to. They don't even vote for it. They are picked. I was a ward chairman for 8 years. They are always unpicked. And they pick them secretly and submit the name. The members will not even be aware. So we need to, in fact, I get confused at times when you look at the way politics is being played in this country. Let me tell you something. These English-speaking people, educated people, they are the ones that are more disadvantaged in Nigeria politics because they believe in those who are illiterates, whom they can manipulate. So they decided this election, this primary, this is the person you are going to vote for, and you will be placed on votes. If you can't do it, they take the delegate from you. So it's so complex. I just want to shift that in so that we should know, what you are saying, what you are thinking, what you are planning. Thank you very much, my Esther.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you for calling. Yeah, good night. All right. Hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening.
Welcome, sir. What's your name?
No, there's information.
Go ahead, please.
Yes, It wouldn't be fair if I do not appreciate your guest. Mr. Don, it's a pleasure having you in the studio.
Thank you, sir.
I've been more educated with your analysis and realities on ground.
Thank you, sir.
You know, unfortunately, the politicians we have here, they're not the ones that educate one on the right thing to do, but they capitalize on the weaknesses of the constitution and the people to manipulate things. And that's why we remain where we are. And that's why every time they run people into office, you see that what their performance is there will be full of troubles, full of controversies, as is happening in River State. The only thing I have to beg our people, please, no matter the side you belong, let us ask for free and fair election. If that is done, all these problems we're facing, they will reduce by half, if not more than that. Let's be realistic. Let's be sincere. Let's think about the tomorrow. Let's not think about now only. You know, these political parties that are using all these measures to produce candidates, at the end of the day, you see it bounce back. But they say where two elephants are fighting. It's the grass that suffers. It's the populace that is suffering this. Please, again, on the tax reform, taxes. It's unfortunate that the government is not even coming forth with information enough. Yes. I don't know what the National Education Agency is doing. They're just collecting salaries. They're supposed to be educating the people on this tax issue. Because the questions I listen to every time on the radio, sometimes you will not blame the people. They are naive, they are ignorant of how it operates. We need to be educated. Thank you. Let me just stop there because of time.
God bless you. Thank you very much. Thank you for your consideration. Hello, good evening.
Good evening, Madam Esther.
Welcome, sir. Happy New Year to you, sir.
Good evening. Robert is my name.
Robert.
Calling from Ogun State.
All right, Robert, welcome.
And good evening to you and your guest.
Good evening, sir.
I am very happy for you because of the way you break the political issues. In fact, I enjoyed it. And I learned a lot from it. But you make mention of something, your guest make mention of something. You said all we need to do is to belong to a political party. And he also made mention of the fact that he said our vote counts. But from the experience, all these elections that they have conducted, before this time, is there any free and fair and credible election? And that also explains the fact that why voters, lose, we call voters apathy.
Yeah, they lose
faith in the process. They are not wanting to join any party because of the way the election is being conducted. Our vote, does it count? Our vote cannot count because the people they know who that we enter have become a particular office. Now, take for instance, the president Tinubu made mention of that. He said a miracle. How does he know that he was one that would have won the election? But actually, he came on board, and we discovered a lot of malpractices. So, I'm not sure that our vote can count. So, if you can do us a favor, I want you to throw more light on that area, how our vote can count, especially when.
All right. I think his connection went off. So how can our vote count? Remember, I was asking you this question that the reason why there is voter apathy is that Nigerians have lost trust in the process. Yeah. They consider the system to be rigged right from the root. So in as much as we want INEC, we have seen these things happen. So Nigerians don't want a repetition of what happened in 2023. Like I said, we saw a massive block of voting in 2023 where even in the supposed almighty Lagos, right, the people decided what they wanted. And we want to have a replica of that in 2027. Massive participation. But there are fears and there are concerns.
I don't want us to play into the already determined game.
Okay.
The idea behind all of the things they do is to ensure that to create an impression that your vote does not count. And I just cited an example. If it does not really count, how come a state governor in Southwest on the day of election spent 2.52 billion on the day of election to buy, because they were holding the meeting and they said they will need like 500,000 votes to win. So they made a calculation, they will give each person 5,000. Do you know how much they spent to execute election? It does. Is there manipulation? Yes. Huge. huge one.
But they need you to come out.
Yes, they need people to be there. And the only way to outsmart them is when you overwhelm them with the population. And we've got the population.
We have.
It's so annoying that every election you get in Nigeria, what's our population, even the acceptable population at 2023, it was around 210 million people. That's acceptable. We know we are more than that. How many people came to vote? All this thing put together, 9 million, 8 million, 7 million.
Yes.
It's not even up to 30 million. So that's it. We have to overwhelm the situation, the system. And if you don't overwhelm, and I've cited clear examples of where the system was overwhelmed by people, and there was nothing anybody could do. So they let us play into their hand by saying, "Oh, your vote
does not count."
True, they manipulate, but once we continue to populate consistently, they will give up.
All right, did you hear that? Hello, good evening.
Good evening, Esther.
How are you, Joval?
Yeah, I'm fine. My name is Joval for the records.
All right, please.
And I think my network is better now.
All right, please.
Good evening to our guests in the studio.
Thank you, sir.
Great analysis from you.
Thank you, sir.
The truth is that everything you have said this night will make sense much more to people if the government will allow our National Orientation Agency to do their work by educating Nigerians in a lot of things that they are doing that Nigerians are not aware about. Let me start from this tax law. I want to tell you from first-hand reports that even those that are in corporate organizations, those who call corporate workers, who are putting on ties and others, they don't even understand this tax law.
True.
Talk less of about those who are doing business. What the business people are saying out there is that the government is going to tax them in the totality of whatever comes into their account by the end of the year. So many of them are beginning to plan to keep doing their businesses with cash instead of doing transfer. Now, what that simply means is that the people don't understand this tax law. And as far as I'm concerned, I see that as a kangaroo implementation of tax law. Before such a tax law could be implemented, the people must understand it. A government that is rolling out policy that people don't understand, it looks like they are manipulating the people because they are looking for money. That's how ordinary person will see it. If the oldest woman in any village don't understand this tax law, then there's a gap. It means that the government should allow National Orientation Agency to spread this message to more than 600 dialects, languages that we have in Nigeria. Then bringing it to when Nigerians are having voting apathy, it is the same thing. Look at what you have written this evening. You can see that Nigerians believe that our votes don't count because they don't even understand how these things play out till a candidate emerges. So if Nigerians understand this, it will help them, and the government deliberately don't want Nigerians to understand this so that they will continue to be in government. Because whatever you do, they will manipulate the election. I have other reservations, but I think time is fast spent. So my solution is very simple. I want to register and vote so that we take the power to ourselves.
Yeah.
If not, this thing will never come to an end. Even the analysis you made about Sibanjo and Wike, I want to know that I respect your opinion about that. But Wike is reaping what he has sown. Because right now he's saying that he manipulated the election in River State. So because of want of time, I want to stop here.
Thank you very much, Joval. Thank you.
They said there's a political cause in Rivers now that the man sitting as the governor must fight his predecessor. So, and consistently, I think it has happened for the better part of this democracy.
Yeah. All right, let me just take a few messages and we'll round up. Pragmatic Esther, this question you just asked Don Dotun is the meaning of is the real meaning of criminology. Criminology is after anticipation and prevention and not after what has happened. You think of what causes crimes, why did the criminals do what they did, how to stop a crime from being perpetrated. So the people should think of what to do to stop election manipulation, snatching of elections items. Thank you so much, Obed Oji. I sincerely do appreciate you constantly encouraging us. Good evening, Esther. I want to ask questions concerning tax. When your salary in a year, what 800,000 naira, Sister Esther? What of senators that earns millions of naira? Ugo from Ugo. Esther.
So the very good thing about the tax, honestly, is the fact that people don't trust their government.
True.
That's the major issue. So they are thinking it was too good for them to even believe that the government was sincere about what it was saying, because a number of people will actually pay less than they are paying now. That's those working in corporate organization. But those that are not used to paying before, I think those are just the areas where there are a bit of issues here and there.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you very much. This person says, good evening. In regards to the guest in the studio, I'm Ibrahim from Lagos. Esther, I think you're learning politics from that man in the studio. And I think the obedience are listening. Nigerian politics, you can't play it without spending shishi. Know that and no peace. Wahala. Okay. Oh, good evening, Esther. Okay. All right.
So quickly, Esther, politics is expensive everywhere. And the idea of norms, for instance, and I'm going to just accuse also the media now.
Okay.
So if I brought an advert for your microphone for this product, and you say it's 1,000 naira, once it's political, it has another rate entirely.
Yeah, of course now.
So that's why.
Of course now. If you want to, I will charge you. Good evening, Esther. I was enjoying your guest analysis until he spoke about Oshibajo Tinubu analysis as well as Wike Fubara. Then I became highly disappointed because was it not AD that brought Tinubu in Lagos? Did they cage him too? So why must they be the ones to cage others in the name of godfatherism? I had to tune off my radio in anger. All right, Babatunde from Lagos Island. He doesn't agree with your submission concerning the Wike.
Yes, of course, situation. I said it. There's nothing wrong for anybody to have desire.
Okay.
But of course, there are a lot of things. Did they tell you about how they moved Fubara ahead of every other person?
When they were selecting.
Yes. Has anybody told you the story of his promotion in the civil service? People are angered within the service. How can you just move this person up ahead of every other person?
That's why he said, I stepped on so many toes.
These are some of the things, and it's not a wrong or right situation. It's just a situation that calls for sober reflection on the part of everybody. It's not so he's right to have that kind of opinion. That's the truth.
Let me tell you, another way of rigging election is that they gather people in somewhere and they give them ballot paper to be thumb printed and pay them money. Wow.
So that one,
he said that he was once like that.
Okay,
wow.
So that one, really, if you have a strong agent, nobody will go elsewhere to thumb print and now bring already thumb printed to you. It's usually part of the manipulation that I told you
about. With the agent of that.
With the agent, you can't have your agent standing and somebody will now bring ballot paper thumb printed for another party.
All right, good evening, VOP family. I love your guest analysis. We are all aware of these mechanisms, but we don't have the environment to actualize them. What I want this honorable station to do is to communicate to Donald Trump to caution Tinubu not to rig 2027 and leave the field for us to do what we know how to do best. Paul from Ikotu, Lagos. All right, Paul. Good evening, Esther and the guests. Good job and beautiful analysis. Please, where is our president? Has he gone to study another strategy as master strategist for 2027 election? Any rigging will be met with serious resistance. People should go get their PVC because election has consequences. Kenneth from NNPC Ejibo. Mr. Down, we need to wrap up now. What's your final take? You've tried.
Yes, thank you so much for having me. And I just want to, my analysis is not about who is right or who is wrong. It's about building a system that works. And in democracy so trusts the people that it gives its entirety into the hand of the people.
True.
So when the people shy away in the name of, my vote will not count, or somebody is after me and all of that, democracy will not be able to deliver. Let's populate the process. We're going to have a great product.
All right. Thank you very much, Don Dotson Ojon. I am so happy I got you here. I do hope that I can have more access to you. You remember I said I needed you because I know you're on the field. I needed you to enlighten.
You actually have to write a letter of apology to a group of people that you did.
Mabinu, sorry. Sorry, for the people that I took you away from, I'm so sorry, but he's doing a good cause. We need to continue to enlighten ourselves. Here at Voice of the People 90.3 FM, we try to educate ourselves. We sieve out the sentiments from the real situation, and we try to highlight the needs of the people on the platform. And at the same time, we need to make our people understand what the reality is and how we can curtail and combat some of this, anomalies in the system. All right, do have yourselves an amazing weekend. TGIF, baby. I will see you on Sunday during the political spotlight. Make sure that you stay with us at Voice of the People 90.3 FM. Good evening and bye for now.